How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to the latest episode of the Manchester City career mode here on FIFA 19. I cannot apologise enough for how long it's taken for this to come out, guys. If you follow me on Twitter, which if you don't, you certainly should, it's at MCFC Nidge. You may have seen that I recorded one of these the other day. It was a phenomenal episode as well. It was a really fun episode. Lots of great stuff going on in there. And the audio, just my audio was just completely screwed up for some reason. It didn't pick up the usual microphone. It picked up the GoPro that I used to record, and I couldn't put it there. The quality just wasn't good enough, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the goals from the games, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But it has meant, of course, there's been a bit of a delay in episodes, and you guys have been absolutely loving the series. So I'm so sorry that it's taken a bit longer than I would have liked to get this out there to you. But hopefully you guys do enjoy this episode still. If you do, make sure to leave a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you're new around here. And don't forget as well, leave your comments and thoughts in that comment section down below. I also want to touch upon the fact that we've just hit 300 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for the support on the channel recently. I mean, the last Man City reaction video we did from the Shakhtar game has got over 1,100 views, almost 50 likes on there. Your support on the Man City content, on the FIFA 19 City content has been absolutely insane. So thank you so much for that. Really does mean a lot. And if you can do that again on this video, I mean, I don't expect it to get anywhere near that, obviously, but any and all support is appreciated, guys, and you really are blowing me away right now with that. So again, big thumbs up if you do enjoy it, and I will do my utmost to keep these videos coming out and at a more regular speed, hopefully. So you can see in today's episode we've got 3 games as always. We're playing Watford in the Premier League, we're playing Chelsea in the Premier League, and we're playing Hoffenheim in the Champions League. Body's pretty much a null game because we're already through, and I think we've already won the group in that as well. But looking at the last episode, we had 3 games. We started off with a 1-1 draw away against West Ham, and this is one of those games where we were so dominant. We took the lead, should have put the game to bed, needed that second goal, didn't get it for whatever reason, just wasn't happening. And then Mr. West Ham himself, Mark Noble, popped up with an equaliser in pretty much what was the last kick of the game. So, absolute sucker punch that one was. We played so well, really deserved all 3 points. We followed that up with a trip to Lyon, where we won 3-0 with a very youthful side. And Phil Foden and Brahim Diaz were absolutely sensational. We're going to talk a bit more about the future players in the squad in today's video as well, but they were absolutely fantastic. We played such a second string team, but absolutely blew Lyon away, especially when you consider we actually lost to them in the home game where we played a full strength team, so that was pretty crazy. And then we ended off the episode, in fact, I don't think I mentioned it, I think it's this Lyon game, David Silva scores an absolute flipping worldie, probably the best goal of this series so far, so I'm going to make sure you see that, because absolutely incredible goal. Let me know if you think it's the best goal of the series so far, because like I said, for me, it was great ball over the top of his weak foot, and that left foot finesse, I'm sure it's on the in the background now, absolutely dirty. And then we ended off the episode with an absolute thriller at Bournemouth. We won 4-3. It was the kind of game where we took the, so I think we went behind, pulled it straight back, but every time we equalised, they just scored again, and then it got to 2-2. We went 3-2 up, then we went 4-2 up. Aguero got a hat-trick. Bournemouth got another one right at the end to make it 4-3, but absolute thriller. We need to be a bit better defensively in today's episode. Like I said, Watford, Chelsea and Hoffenheim to come. I do want to take a look really quickly at the squad as well. So as you guys know, we are still looking to dip our toe in the transfer market a little bit in January. You've had lots of suggestions in the comment section down below, so thank you so much for that once again. I just wanted to emphasise really that there's a few positions here that I just don't think we need to strengthen too drastically, because we've got great players in those positions and they're still very young. I mean, Sane on the screen right now is a phenomenal example of that. We've got Sterling as well. How was Raheem Sterling? 24, 23, 23. You know, we're not going to need a right winger realistically for a while, unless or a left winger, unless one of these two departs. Obviously, we've got Mahrez as well, and we've got Bernardo Silva that's been playing a lot in the middle of the park. In fact, you know what? We're going to put Bernardo Silva in permanently for David Silva for now, because he's been doing so well. De Bruyne, obviously, he's 27, but he ain't going to be going nowhere. Phenomenal player. Bernardinho, we know he's going to be replaced long term, potentially by De Jong and Toussaint, who've already got in here. And defensively as well, you look at Laporte and Stones, 24 both of those. Benjamin Mendy, 24 as well. You know, we've got a very young squad. Our average age, I'd say, is probably around that 23, 24 mark. So there's not many positions that we super need strengthening, but what I did make was, if I can quickly find it, what this is that I've made is kind of like the potential future players at the club. We've got some players with really high potential that are in certain areas of the pitch that I'm really wanting to bring in the future. I mean, I've said it before, this is a long-term series. You can see we've got the likes of Brahim Diaz, who's been absolutely exceptional when we've used him this season, so I'd like to see him playing a lot of minutes in the future. Jesus, obviously, we already all know about. Foden, Claudio Gomez, Toussaint, Frankie de Jong, who can play centre-back. I've got him there in that centre-back spot. Zinchenko, who's also been really impressive this season, There's a lot of players with big potential there, so there's certainly a lot to be happy about in terms of future development and players coming through. But the trouble is, for someone like Brahim Diaz, he's going to struggle to break through while Sane's there, so it's difficult to say what's going to be happening, but there's certainly a lot of great players to consider there for the future. And speaking of players to consider, we've still got the transfer hub going with a lot of your suggested players. There's a few that I went through last episode and I may have taken away, the likes of Ousmane and Dembele. Umtiti is in there as well. Some players that I thought might just be a bit too good to bring in that were unnecessary, if that makes sense. But this is how it's looking at the moment. Lots of variety there. Stefan was someone that was suggested last time. Could be a decent backup keeper. Alaba's recently been suggested, as has Balotelli. And of course, it was always going to be the case that Jadon Sancho has been brought up as well, 18 years old, setting the world alight right now at Dortmund. Could we bring him back in? Should we bring him back in? Let me know your thoughts on all of these and any other suggestions, as always, in the comment section down below, guys. Here we are then, guys, going into the first game of the episode against Watford. It feels like that was a really long introduction. I don't know how long that's going to be in the video, but it felt like it went on for a bit, so sorry there's been a bit of a delay in getting into the action today. We've got a slightly rotated lineup, partly due to injury and partly due to stamina. The injury, which I haven't actually mentioned yet, is to Raheem Sterling, unfortunately. He's going to be out for, I think it was 2 months, so a pretty serious injury that he picked up, and Mahrez gets the start ahead of him in his absence. You can see the league table as well there. Top by 1 point ahead of Liverpool, very, very close. Bit of a three-horse race developing, it seems, between us, Liverpool and Spurs at the moment. But let's take a look at the lineups and let's get stuck into the game. So here is the Watford lineup. Have they brought anyone in this career mode? Let's find out. They've got Foster in goal, Jan-Matt Cathcart, Lopez and Ziegler. Lopez possibly being a new signing. They've got Isaac Success, Capuy, Doucouré and Pereira in the midfield. And then Elkson and Okaka up front. Elkson there, I'm pretty sure, is going to be a new signing as well. And of course, Fabian Delph there, you can see on the bench. I'm surprised he's not getting in the team after the signing from us, to be honest with you. But yeah, we're going to see our lineup pop up in a second. I do also want to mention, I'm praying that my camera doesn't run out for this episode. It could run out towards the end, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that won't happen. But here is our lineup. We've got Edison in goal, Walker, Stones, Otamendi coming in because of stamina issues with Laporte and Mendy at left back, De Bruyne, Toussaint and Bernardo Silva. Toussaint coming in because Fernandinho is knackered, and then Mahrez, Aguero and Sane. Mahrez coming in due to that Sterling injury, as I just mentioned. But let's get into it. We've not been in amazing form in the league, to be honest. We need to get some wins, some consistency, and hopefully open up a gap at the top. All giving away that was, could punish us here if we're not too good at the back, and it's a good save from Edison. Straight at him, but it was a strong effort, very powerful. Did we want to just parry that away and at the danger zone as well? Well played, Otamendi again, holding us together there. Bernardo, good ball. De Bruyne, Sven Mahrez. Mahrez is in here. Riyad Mahrez on the breakaway from that Watford speller's pressure, and he finishes it so easily, just slams that out past the goalkeeper. His right hand side on his stronger left foot. I'll tell you what, Watford have had a 5-minute spell there as well, where we haven't been able to get out corner after corner, not being able to get a grip of the ball. But I'll tell you something, you do not save those. Riyad Mahrez stepping in for that Raheem Sterling injury, and could he be staking a claim for that first team spot? Lovely finish, 1-0 City. Watford do get it back temporarily, but then De Bruyne nicks in, and Mahrez has made a run again here. Go on, son, make it 2, Riyad. Oh, Riyad Mahrez, he's got a brace here. We're just literally halfway into this game, 20-25 minutes. There has not been many chances, but the two that have come Riyad's way, he has absolutely taken so well. Really clinical. That one especially, he was under a lot of pressure from the defender. And in Sterling's absence, he really is staking a claim for that first team spot. Great finish, and that is a bit of daylight that we needed in what's been a tough game so far. Through the defender's legs as well. Lovely finish. Keeper, no chance.
Looks promising. Down the wing, keeping the wide attack going.
Oh, it's a big header, yeah. Knew we were in trouble straight away there. And this is where we need to be careful. This is what happened in the West Ham game. I know that was only 1-0 to 1-1, but within one goal now, Watford, and they've not played poorly, got to be honest, so we need to be careful. It was good ball in as soon as he got to the ball first, just got their goal side of the defender. I think it's Mendy there. We knew we were in trouble. Well, Leroy, come on, can we get the breakaway? Can we get the breakaway? This could be vital. Sergio. Oh, we take the throw in. 15 to go as well. We're going to get some fresh legs on Jesus for Aguero. Not quite been Aguero's day. And David Silva for De Bruyne again. Just fresh legs in the middle of the park. Help us see this out. A bit of experience with David Silva. And hopefully, like I say, the fresh legs of Jesus up top, who's also been in pretty decent form in the last couple of games. Oh, really, he's going into the last couple of minutes here. We can see this will be a sucker punch very similar to the West Ham game. Although, Watford haven't played poorly and they've got a corner here. They've certainly not been scared to get forward. Coming into the 91st minute now. Come on, boys, we need to clear this. We can't keep dropping points late on. We do get there, but it's not fully cleared. Come on. Stand them up, stand them up, stand them up. Well played, that'll do. And that is full time. We get ourselves over the line for the 2-1 win in what was a very tricky away game at Watford. Took our chances. Mara's getting the brace. He's got to be the man of the match. Took those chances really, really well. And that, at the end of the day, what is going to bring home the 3 points. Because Watford had 7 shots to our 9. Deserved the win, but Watford, like I say, really tricky opponents there. Here we go then, guys, straight from that Watford game to another opponent down in the south of England in London. This time it's going to be Chelsea away from home at Stamford Bridge. Going to be a tough one in it once again. Chelsea, a very, very strong team. Not quite up there in the running, I don't think, in the Premier League right now, but I'm sure that the table's going to pop up in just a moment. Also, as always, it's going to be really interesting to see if they brought any big boy signings in. Chelsea, of course, a team with a lot of spending power, just like ourselves, so the potential to be some big names here. So here is the Chelsea lineup. Have they signed anyone? They've got Kepa in between the sticks, of course. A back four of Carvajal, Christensen, Luiz and Emerson. Interesting to see Emerson getting a start. Carvajal, of course, a new signing. Kovacic, Kante, Jorginho make up the middle with Willian, Morata and Hazard, the front three. Anyone on the bench that stands out there? No, not particularly. So they've got some new boys in there. I think Carvajal being the only one. This is how we're lining up. We've got Edison, Walker, Stones, Laporte and Mendy, that familiar spine of our team at the back. De Bruyne, Fernandinho and David Silva making up the midfield. And then Mahrez, Aguero and Sane. Pretty much full strength apart from the fact that we're missing Sterling, of course. But yeah, hopefully we can get the job done here. Going to be a tough one. Aguero. Once De Bruyne, of course, scored the winner at Stamford Bridge last season in reality. Once Aguero, we've got Sane at the bottom here. Seen a lot of the ball. Oh, it's a good save. Perhaps I could have taken that a bit closer, but just sat nicely. Silva, well played. Sane. Oh, it's a great ball. David Silva. That is a wonderful, wonderful move. David Silva, I'll tell you what, he's been in and out the team because him and Bernardo have just been exceptional. It's difficult to pick who to start from game to game, but David gets the nod in this one and proves why perhaps he should keep his spot ahead of Bernardo. Like I said, both of them in phenomenal form. It's difficult to get the two Silvers both in together, but he finished that chance so well. Lovely ball into him and very, very clinical, just like David Silva in reality over the last couple of years. Deadly in front of goal, and that gives us a big 1-0 lead at the Bridge. And that is some really quick, sweet, neat football from Chelsea. Very neat football. The fair Willian, the fair Morata should do better. Edison claims it. Not long gone in the second half, but Mahrez has had a bit of a quiet one. You know, he's got a brace in that second game, but he's really struggled down that right-hand side in this one. So we're bringing on Jesus, who we actually deployed a little bit on the right-hand side in the last episode and did pretty well. So just mixing it up, throwing him on in there. Sane, David Silva, come on, this is the break now, come on. Aguero, look for Jesus, that's the one. This is why he's so good in his right wing position. He still thinks like a striker, and Jesus is in on goal straight away. Should do better. I wanted him to go in his left there to open his body up, but didn't quite happen. You could say if Mahrez is in that position, he scores, but you know what? Mahrez wasn't finding himself in those positions in this game. Fernandinho, Aguero, looking for it's got to be Aguero. Yes, that's 2-0. That should be game over, and Aguero gets his goal in this game. Don't know if I mentioned it. He got a hat. I'm sure I mentioned the fact that he got a hat-trick in the last episode. It actually took him top of the top scorers leaderboard, so he wants to maintain that, and it's good to see him getting a goal here to help towards that. Lovely little bit of football between him and Leroy Sane, and when Aguero's in that position, it's never in doubt, is it? 2-0 at the Bridge. Fantastic stuff, and you can see here, how many goals is that now? That's his 10th of the league. He's in double figures now. Dino. Find Jesus. Finds Aguero. We're going to go back to Jesus. Hopefully here we have found him. Where can we go? Jesus. Tricks his way inside. It's opened up for him again here. Oh, that left foot just didn't quite... It looked like it was going to curl in and it just went away.
It's going to be an attacking move this from Chelsea.
Come on, we need the clean sheet here. Come on. Hazard again. Jinking. It's not a bad ball at all. Edison unsure whether to stay or go. Ended up staying in there. Carvajal's got it on the other side. Somehow still going. Carvajal's a good ball as well. And Eden Hazard leaps like a salmon to get to the back stick to make it 2-1. I don't know who's beaten in the air, but Hazard shouldn't be beating anyone in the air, really. Carvajal really determined run. Got a bit lucky in there as well. Look at that for a leap. It was John Stones, I think. Just didn't quite get off the ground, did he? And all of a sudden, Hazard gets his goal. 9 for him in the Premier League. He's on in a great season as well, apparently. All of a sudden now, got to be careful the last minute or so. Bernardo gets tackled, but that should be pretty much that. Just waiting for the ref's whistle, and there it is. 2-1 win. Exactly the same scoreline as in the first game against Watford, but against a much higher calibre of opposition in Chelsea, of course. And very, very happy with that. We deserved the 3 points once again. I think once we got that second goal at 2-0 for a while, we could have got a third. It just wouldn't quite happen, though. Chelsea getting that one in the 89th minute, but you can see statistically, absolutely dominated Chelsea. It was a tougher game against Watford, to be honest. Something I forgot to touch upon as well is the fact that we started our scouting. A few of you had suggested locations to go for, and we went with Belgium. This is the first report. Nothing major, to be honest. A lot of these not looking at, too great. I mean, we're only going to be looking for the highest calibre of player. That goes without saying. And the only one here that looks like he could be of any salt is this guy, Alexander Williams, who looks like he could be a right back or centre back. We'll keep on skating him for now. 75 to 94 though. Could have some strong potential there. Here we are then, guys, the final game of today's episode, and it's a bit of a dead rubber one if I'm being completely honest with you. It's Man City against Hoffenheim. We've already won the group. We've already, qualified for the next stage, so we've got with an incredibly youthful team for this one. There's still a little bit of experience in there, particularly in the defence, as I'll see in a second, but yeah, giving lots of chances to young players here, so hopefully they can impress just like they did in the last fixture in the Champions League against Lyon. Pretty crazy, really, how we've managed to get so many youth players in these Champions League games just because of the way the group has gone, essentially. But Hoffenheim with a lot to play for, by the way. Second place at the moment are Lyon. They're on 7 points. If Hoffenheim win this, they're going to 8, so still a chance for them to go through. Let's have a look at their lining up and have a look at our youthful team as well. As you can see in the background there, a lot of young, fresh faces. Here we go with our lineup then to get things going. We are, of course, playing at the Etihad. We've got Edison in between the sticks. Like I say, still quite a fair bit of experience in the defence with Danilo, Kompany and Otamendi. Zinchenko coming in at left-back. Midfield 3 of Foden, De Jong and Toussaint. And a front 3 of Brahim Diaz, Jesus and Bernardo Silva. I mean, Zinchenko, Foden and Diaz on that left-hand side. That triplet of players, that trinquet, is that the right word? Have been absolutely fantastic whenever I've used them and they've played together, so hopefully they can impress again. Hoffenheim with a couple of familiar players in there. They've got Teixeira on the bench, who's a decent sub, and Ben Yedder leading the line alongside Kramaric, very similar to when we played them before. Bonaventura, a new signing as well, so clearly been doing some business, and they need a win, let's not forget, to have a chance of going through to the knockouts. Everything coming down this side here at the moment for Hoffenheim. Kramaric looking like the danger man, but so far we've limited him to not a lot. That's a ball out wide to Bernardo. We've got the overlapping run now with Danilo. He then looks for Jesus. Gabriel. Got one more in the middle if you can find him. De Jong gets a great ball round the corner. How has that not gone in? And I'll tell you something, it does go in. And it's that man, Brahim Diaz. He's just got a knack of being at the right place at the right time, and he has scored a handful of goals for us this season, and there's another one. It was a lovely move. Frenkie de Jong plays a great ball into the centre here. We should have taken the chance there. Hits the post, but Diaz gets on the end of it to make sure he gets taken the chance. I don't know who we see an issue on, but I kind of hope it wasn't Foden. He's still not scored for us yet. He's played a fair few games as well. He's playing well, but not got on the score sheet yet, I don't think. Whereas Diaz just scores every time he plays, I tell you.
Let's see what he has in store for them.
Well, that was a bit of a worldie, wasn't it? Who's put that in? Is that Ben Yedder again? Ben Yedder always seems to score these great goals against me. I think it is Ben Yedder here now. Scoops it in almost past Edison. Caught me by surprise, as you might be able to tell by my reaction, but they've pulled it back to 1-1. Fully deserved, really. Get that out. Should be an easier. Why are you heading it that way, lad? Flipping it, Foden. Calm as you like, apparently. And we'll get it away now as well. Brahim Diaz. It's a fantastic ball to Jesus. Come on, he's got men right on his back. Can Jesus do it under the pressure? Oh, it's a great save. Out wide the space again. Zinchenko having to get across. Can't get there in time. It's a good ball to the back stick, and 2-1 Hoffenheim. They deserve it, to be completely honest with you. You can tell that they need the win, and we've got a young teammate. They're exploiting us in areas where we wouldn't normally be exploited, I don't think. And, you know, fully deserved from Hoffenheim. Great ball in. Zinchenko just couldn't quite get back at the attacker there. At the back stick, he takes it really well, in fairness. Great link up again, and it's right-hand side. Zinchenko trying his best to get forward. He's leaving gaps at the back. And it's 3-1 Hoffenheim. And if the second goal was good, that one is even better. Absolutely great bicycle kick. And if that's Kramaric, it's a brace for him. And he's certainly been their best player, been really dangerous whenever he's been on the ball. Good defending by Company this time. Can we get one last chance for a bit of a consolation? It's not looking like it. No, there does go the referee's whistle. Fully deserved win for Hoffenheim, as I've mentioned already. They needed the win. They needed the three points. We had a younger team out, and thankfully we're already through. To end off the episode though, we are going to have a quick look at the league table. You can see Premier League wise, we played a game more than Liverpool, but we are 7 points clear, so they've clearly had a stumbling block somewhere because they were right behind us prior to this episode beginning. So nice to be opening up a gap again, thankfully, and hopefully we can maintain that. And you can also see as well, there's the confirmation that despite that loss in the last game, we did come top of our group in the Champions League. Unfortunately for Hoffenheim, the win wasn't enough. Lyon won their game, and that meant there was a two-point gap that remained and put them through in second place. We've just had a couple of things come through in the inbox to end off the episode as well. Don't know if this is anything exciting, not really, no. Just talking about prize money and the match being rescheduled.